In the Quran in particular, there is no properly historical consciousness. I came to think of history writing as a process of legitimation, as why do people write history? Usually they write history because they're trying to legitimize or legitimate some community or other that they're a part of. So, for example, in the Near East, if you look at the centuries before the rise of Islam, there are, of course, Byzantine historians writing in Greek. And then at a certain point you see things popping up, histories of the church, starting Eusebius and so on. And then you see things coming up like history of the Armenians and history of the Coptic Church. And it occurred to me, well, these are being written because these social or ecclesiastical communities have congealed by this time, and they need to legitimate themselves by having a history to say, this is why we're here, this is who we are and why we're here, to justify it. So I realized, well, actually all history writing is that way. The more I thought about it, it's legitimating something. And when I looked in the Quran, I didn't see any evidence of historical legitimation being exercised. Legitimation was on the basis of
and that's what you mean
piety,
historical consciousness.
Yes,
yeah.
On the basis of piety and righteousness, not on the basis of who your grandfather was or something. That was not relevant. So then I realized, oh, well, so I could throw that chapter out, but it meant I could start on a sound basis and sort of looking at how a historical consciousness came into the Muslim community when they first began to develop it. Well, of course, it's pretty hard to know that because we don't have like videos of what people were thinking. But it seemed to me that it really happens around the end of the 7th century. This is also the time when people start talking about isnads, chains of authority for hadiths or traditions about anything, reports about anything. The general sense is that these things start to appear in the late 7th century, early 8th century. And what is an isnad, a chain of authority? It's a form of legitimation. It's a historicizing form of legitimation for a report. It says this report is valid because these people said it and transmitted it. So it seemed to me to all kind of fall into place, that is when the Muslim community began to think in terms of historical legitimation for itself and try to construct a historical narrative about its past, who we are, where we came from, why we matter, what our goals are.